Welcome back, Art Club. Today we are going to learn how to create two different styles of books. The first one is a simple stitch book, and then the second one is called an accordion book. Bookmaking, believe it or not, has been one of my favorite art forms to learn about, and it's really great because you can basically make your own sketchbooks and your own visual artwork this way. So we're going to start with the simple stitched book. So for this, you're going to start off with we're not going to put too many pages in these. This is less about having something that's incredibly usable and more about learning the process. So I have 4 pieces of paper cut to size. You are going to fold each one of them in half. You will see, hopefully, which way makes the most sense to fold. Make sure that you have the pages as even as you can, understanding that I did cut the papers for you, so I apologize if they're not completely even, but do the best that you can. All right, so got one more. Okay, so after you have folded all of them, you are going to put the pages into each other, so that way they do open up into a small book. Just like this, and like this. All right, so it's a small book, but they're not connected quite yet. All right, so set those pages off to the side. You are then going to pick what you want to be your cover. You are also going to fold this in half so that the pattern side is facing out. All right, and then same thing, you are going to open up the cover of this book, going to insert your pages into it, and it should fit in nicely that way. All right, so at this point you want to open up your book to the very inside crease so that you have one side of pages on one side and the other side on the other. And we are going to create 3 holes. One is going to be right in the center, and then you'll have one close to each of the edges. All right, so we're going to use a bamboo skewer in order to create the holes. So again, you want one right in the middle and then one close to either edge. If you are having trouble creating the hole with them all stacked like this, just go ahead and pull the pages apart and do one at a time. And make sure that you are actually doing it so that it's right on the crease. Okay, so if you have done it that way, and then you need to pile up your next piece of paper, make sure you keep them lined up so that you know the holes are all going to be in the same place. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this for the rest of my pages and get back to you in just a second. All right, everyone, so once you have the holes punched in all of your pieces of paper, you wanna make sure that the pages of your book stay lined up. So I am just very carefully going to push that over to the side. The next things you'll want to use are the yarn that has been pre-cut along with one of the yarn needles. This is a plastic needle, so it's not really good enough to create the holes in here, but it's perfect for pushing the yarn through. So what you want to do, of course, probably the hardest part is getting the yarn actually through the needle. What I would recommend doing is just taking your skewer in order to push the yarn through like that. So you can have a little bit of a tail right here. All right, so the way that you stitch your book together, pull it towards you. All right, you're going to take your needle and starting on the inside of the book, you are going to go through the middle hole. Again, go through the middle hole, pull it through, and leave a bit of a tail on the inside of the book. You can hold on to it with your finger. On the outside then, you are going to go to either the left or right hole, it doesn't matter which one, on the outside, and you're going to pull through to the inside. And yes, it might get stuck a little bit, but that's okay. All right, pull it so it's nice and tight. That's why it's good to hang on to the tail that's here. All right, You're going to then take the needle, you're actually going to go back through the center so that the needle is then on the outside. Again, pull it nice and tight to make sure that your binding is strong. All right, and then you're going to go to the opposite hole on the outside. You're going to pull it through to the inside. All right, and again, pull it tight. In order to actually attach this and tie it off, you're gonna take the needle, you're going to slide it underneath the other stitching that you've created, pull it, and then that will allow you to tie it off nice and tight in the middle. I would do a double knot with the yarn. And then of course you can trim the edges off. I would leave a little bit in the middle in case you ever need to tie it off, but then you have your completed simple stitched book. All right, so the next type of book that we're going to make is an accordion book. So this folds up and pulls apart like an accordion. There's no stitching to this one. So in order to start making the accordion book, I know this piece of paper does not fit entirely onto the screen, but you're going to take this piece of paper and you're going to fold the entire thing in half. All right, so then you have like a giant flap. You're going to take the top piece only and you're going to fold it over to the creased edge. All right, and then you're going to flip it over to the other side and you're going to do the same thing. Take that piece only, fold it over to the creased edge. All right, so if you pull it open, this is how you get your accordion fold so that it pulls apart that way. All right, so then the next thing you want to do, I'm going to set that off to the side. You're going to pull towards you the longer piece of paper that you're going to use for your cover. You want to flip this so that the white side is up, and then you are going to take the paper that you folded accordion style, and you are going to situate it so that the flat side like this is arranged into the corner, and then we're going to go ahead and glue just this one panel, the back of this one panel down here into the corner. All right, so I have glued just that one panel. Pull this apart so you can see just that one panel down to the cover. I'm going to close everything else up and push it in just like that. All right, so at this point you want to take the left side right here and we're going to bring it over like this. I am not going to fold, I'm going to fold it so that there's like a little bit of extra room. You can add pages to this. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. All right, so we're going to fold it over like that, but we still have this extra flap back here, right? All right, so we're going to open that side up and we're going to take this extra flap and we're going to fold it over this back page. We're not going to glue it. I'll show you why in just a moment. All right, so what this does, it means that you can open this up and instead of being bound by a front and back cover, you can pull it out in order to work on the accordion book, and you can also use the back this way. The other nice thing about being able to have a cover just like this, you can always add more pages to it. So for example, I have another piece right here. If I wanted to glue this down just like this, I would be able to double the size of the accordion book, and then you can keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this page down too. This of course is something optional if you decide to keep working on this. All right, everyone, so that is how you make both the simple stitched book along with the accordion book. So I hope you enjoyed making those. And again, I think it's wonderful to be able to make your own small sketchbooks and books to be able to work through artwork. I am a particular fan of the accordion book just because you can pull this out and kind of keep writing and keep drawing and keep doing all of those things. They're excellent for brainstorming and just working for fun. So you have 2 books that you can take with you today, and I hope this is something that you're able to try in your free time as well. Enjoy, everybody.